So welcome everyone.
Good evening, ma'am.
Thursday. Good evening, everybody. I'd like you all to mute yourself as I will introduce Swamiji first. So today we are truly grateful to have the grace of Swami Aparaajitaananda with us here. A little introduction from our side. He obviously was an electronic and communication engineer and gave up a career of 5 years as a lecturer in an engineering college in Bangalore. And Pujya Swamiji enrolled in the intensive 2-year Vedanta course in English at the Sandeepany Sadhanalaya in Mumbai to devote his time exclusively to an in-depth study of the Indian scriptures. Swamiji joined the Chinmaya Mission 2018 on Shivaratri day, Swamiji was given Sannyaasa deeksha. A very fluent speaker in English, Swamiji has conducted several discourses in different parts of the country, including the reputed institution like IIT Bombay. The depth of his understanding, along with clarity in the subject, is clearly visible. He is a writer to various magazines. Also penned 4 books: Read Daily, Live Fully, Gurudev's Quotes with Explanation Part 1 and 2, and Indispensable Values. I think these books should be read by all of us. His entries and books appreciated by all. Swamiji has served the Chinmaya Mission centers in Karnataka, at Bangalore, Mysore, and Shimoga. At present, he's serving the mission center in Bangalore. In this technologically driven age, as we all know, the e-satsangs have become extremely popular, and Swamiji has been eagerly approached, just like we have approached Swamiji for e-satsangs, and has conducted numerous online talks, Q&A sessions, workshops, and discourses on the Vedantic texts. The kind of benefit that I think seekers like us can get from his talks is immeasurable. I've heard his YouTube recordings on Tattva and Atmabodh, and they are truly amazing. Swamiji, we welcome you to this group called Thinking Thursday, which started 2.5 years ago during the kind of pandemic. And we have been meeting every Thursday, and we invite esteemed speakers to share their knowledge with us. And we are truly grateful and fortunate that I wrote you an email and you just said yes for this talk. It really warms my heart, Swamiji. Also, the topic that we wanted you to speak about is Rajya. It's a very interesting subject, and I think we know very little of it. So we would be glad if you can enlighten us on this wonderful subject. And I was also wanting to talk to you about the fact that Upanishad ke upar we want that you teach us, and I think you have very gracefully spoken about the Katha Upanishad, and we will talk about it later. I will send an email as to when we can start the lectures and how many lectures we will have. And we have a huge group that wants to learn from you, Swamiji. So I welcome you again. Pranam, Hari Om, and thank you so much once more. Swamiji, over to you.
Hari Om.
Hari Om.
Hari Om.
Hari Om. Is the audio clear?
Yeah.
I request all of you to at least show your video. Audio can be muted, but let the videos be present so that I have some faces.
Correct.
Right. Thank you very much.
Videos. So everybody.
Videos can be on. Amma, how many minutes I am supposed to speak?
You have 1 hour, Swamiji, and you can extend if you wish. We'll be happy.
Should we have some question answer session or something in the end?
Yeah, we can have. We can have.
So maybe 10 minutes early I can
Yeah.
stop.
Yes.
Okay, fine.
Or otherwise, if you wish to extend, you can take 1 full hour for the lecture and then the question answers. We are eager to hear from you.
Okay.
Your YouTube audios are too good. And we are really blessed to have you here.
Oh. सहना भवतु सहनो भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः जय जय रामा जानकी रामा रघुकुलभूषण राजा रामा जय जय रामा जानकी रामा तापसरञ्जन तारक नामा दानव भंजन कोदंड रामा जय जय रामा जानकी रामा श्री राम जय जय राम 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 जय जय राम जानकी राम जानकी राम बोलिए सियावर रामचंद्र की जय। What is Rama Rajya? If this question is asked. By the way, I request all of you to mute your audio so that there is no disturbance. Please mute the audio. So what is the description of Rama Rajya? The kingdom ruled by Bhagwan Sri Ramchandraji. What is the description? So the description we find in Valmiki Ramayana, Yuddha Kanda. So the last chapter describes Rama Rajya. So I will just read out some portions here. So some either 98 to 105, these verses, they describe Ramarajya. Na paryadevan vidhava na cha vyalakrutam bhayam nyavyadhijam bhayam chasi Rame rajyam prashasati निर्दस्युरभवल्लोकः नानर्थं कश्चिदस्पृशत् न च स्म वृद्धा बालानां प्रेतकार्याणि कुर्वते सर्वं मुदितमेवासीत् सर्वो धर्मपरो भवत् राममेवानुपश्यन्तः नाभ्यहिंसन् परस्परम् आसन् वर्षसहस्राणि तथा पुत्रसहस्रिणः निरामया विशोकाश्च रामे राज्यं प्रशासति रामो रामो राम इति प्रजानामभवन् कथाः रामभूतं जगदभूत् रामे राज्यं प्रशासति नित्यमूला नित्यफलाः तरवस्तत्र पुष्पिताः कामवर्षी च पर्जन्यः सुखस्पर्शश्च मारुतः ब्राह्मणा क्षत्रिया वैश्याः शूद्रा लोभविवर्जिताः स्वकर्मसु प्रवर्तन्ते तुष्टा स्वैरेव कर्मभिः आसन् प्रजाधर्मपराः रामे शासति नानृताः सर्वे लक्षणसम्पन्नाः सर्वे धर्मपरायणाः. So this is the description of Ramarajya. So in essence, I will tell you what it is. So it is said, when Bhagavan was ruling the kingdom, there never used to be any cry of the vidhavas, of the widows. Means nobody became widows. Small children never died. Means there was no unnatural, accidental, untimely death. People were free from all kinds of fears, including the fears of wild animals, etc. They lived a righteous life. All were happy. They never hated each other. They saw Bhagavan alone in others. They loved and served each other. All were singing the glories of the Lord alone. As far as the Mother Nature was concerned, the trees were yielding fruits at all seasons. The rains came on time. There were never any kinds of natural calamities like earthquake, tsunami, and all kinds of natural disasters. It is said the wind used to be gentle, soft. There were never storms or tornadoes, etc. All of them, Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudras, they performed their duties perfectly well. There was no corruption. And all of them were fully content. So in this way, full of virtues, people lived following the path of dharma. This is the description of Ramarajya given in Valmiki Ramayana. This portion comes in Yuddha Kanda, last chapter. Now, when we see this description, many say it is impossible. It is just an exaggeration. You see, it is just impossible to have all these kind of things. People free from all kinds of disease, etc. Some others say maybe it was possible. When Bhagavan Ramchandraji ruled, fine, Ramarajya is possible, accepted. But I don't think it is possible in this Kali Yuga. This is another category of people. So now the very important question is Rama Rajya possible? So for this, we will refer to Bhagavad Gita, the 3rd chapter of Bhagavad Gita, the Karma Yoga chapter. In that, there is a section where Bhagavan describes the relationship between mankind and cosmos. So what is said there? So in Bhagavad Gita, 3rd chapter, it is said, I think it is verse number 10. Bhagavan says there, Saha yajna praja srishtva purovacha prajapatihi anena prasavishyadhvam eshavostishta kamadhuk. So here, the Lord having created the mankind, praja srishtva, he created the mankind and then gave a loving advice to the mankind. Remember, advice was given to mankind only, not to animals or birds or insects, because as far as these lower beings are concerned, they have no freedom. They are programmed, pre-programmed. They are not the people, they are not the ones who violate the laws of nature. In Satyuga also the cows were eating grass. In Kali Yuga also they are eating grass only. No freedom is given to them. So therefore, when there is no freedom given, there is no option whether to follow the path of dharma or adharma. You are pre-programmed. So therefore, no advice is given to animals or birds. Advice is given to mankind because he has the freedom, because he is the crest and crown of creation, the highest among creation. And as a person evolves higher and higher, more and more freedom is given to him. So he becomes more and more responsible as far as creation is concerned. So
Swamiji, please, you have to unmute once again by mistake. Thank you.
Hari Om.
Hari Om.
So, as far as the human beings are concerned, they are the crest and crown of creation. They are the highest among creation. So therefore, they have been given a lot of freedom. And it is said, with freedom comes responsibilities. So therefore, this instruction, this loving piece of advice is given to mankind. And what is the advice given? The Lord gave the advice in the form of yajna bhava. What that yajna bhava is, we will see later. So Bhagavan said lovingly to this mankind, Anena prasavishyadhvam, with this yajna bhava, with this yajna spirit, may you prosper. Yeshavaha tu ishtakamadhuk. May this yajna bhava be your wish fulfilling cow, kamadhenu. Meaning you can achieve everything with this yajna bhava. Devan bhavayatanena te deva bhavayantuvaha. Worship the cosmic forces with this yajna bhava, and these cosmic forces will in turn bless you. Parasparam bhavayantaha shreyaha param avapsyatha. In this way, you worship the cosmic forces. The cosmic forces will in turn bless you. In this way, cooperating with each other, loving each other, helping each other, may you attain the highest good. This is the instruction given. With this yajna bhava, may you attain everything in life. So this was a loving advice given by the Creator to mankind. So now the question is, what is this yajna bhava? So this attitude where people come together, pouring out their God-given talents and abilities. Whatever talents and abilities we have, it is all God-given. So pouring out the God-given talents and abilities for the welfare of all, performing our duties and responsibilities as a worship of God without ego and egocentric desires, in a spirit of cooperation. So in this way, when people come together, this attitude is what is called as yajna bhava. Actually, the word yajna means sacrifice. So what are we sacrificing? We are sacrificing our individuality for the welfare of the totality. Yajna, homa, havana, etc. This is the concept. The concept is, let me dissolve myself for the welfare of the totality. So in this way, when people come together, this attitude is what is called as yajna bhava. So whatever talents I have, may I use these God-given talents and abilities for the welfare of all. So then what am I doing? I am performing my duties with yajna bhava. So here, what is the instruction given? You may choose your profession according to your nature, according to your inclination. No profession is superior, no profession is inferior. Whatever abilities God has given you, use it. But for what? For the welfare of the totality. Some may be a doctor. Let him treat the patients as though treating Bhagavan himself. Patients should be seen with Narayana Bhava. Then that becomes Yajna Bhava. Another engineer, let him construct the roads and the bridges, etc. With what attitude? To serve everyone, not selfishly. Recently, a bridge collapsed and many people died, isn't it? What was lacking there? Yajna Bhava was lacking. When the individuality becomes important, when I become important more than the society, more than the country, then all such things happen. So here in Yajna Bhava, I selflessly serve for the welfare of all. So whether it is a doctor or an engineer or a sweeper or a peon or a clerk or whoever you may be, whatever your profession may be, perform it for the welfare of all. This is called as Yajna Bhava. Without ego and egocentric desires, as a worship of the Lord. If this way we do, then what will be the result? So here Bhagavan says, Eshavaha tu ishtakamadhuka, you will get everything in life. So what are the things we will get? So here Bhagavan says, Ishtan bhogan hi vodevaha dasyante yajna bhavitaha. In this way, when you worship the cosmic forces, these cosmic forces, what are these cosmic forces? This Mother Nature. So in those days, they used to call them Surya Devata, Chandra Devata, Varuna Devata, Agni Devata, Vayu Devata. So in short, Mother Nature, the external world. So what he said, Ishtan bhogan hi devaha dasyante. Whatever you need, everything will be given to you. So there is material prosperity. Number one. And moreover, Bhagavan says, such people who performs their duties and responsibilities with this spirit, not just thinking that I, my wife and my children. No, performing it for the welfare of everyone. What happens to them? Yajna shishtasina santaha muchyante sarvakilbishaihi. Whatever impurities are there in the mind, everything they will be free from. They'll be free from all kinds of impurities of the mind. They'll be free from all kinds of papas. The mind becomes absolutely pure. Now, what is the benefit of having a pure mind? A person who has a pure mind will experience the presence of the Lord in his heart. This is the greatest benefit of having a pure mind. What is a pure mind? A mind filled with noble virtues. Such a mind is called a pure mind. And what happens to such a person who has such a pure mind? The Lord is seated in the hearts of all. Very rare few are able to experience the presence of the Lord. Most of us, we are not experiencing it. It is not because God is not there in the heart. God is there, but the mind is not pure enough to experience his presence. How is God's presence experienced? The nature of God is Sat Chit Anand. So therefore, God is experienced as joy, as fulfillment, as contentment, as happiness, as immortality, as freedom from all kinds of imperfections, limitations, freedom from all kinds of tension, worry, anxiety, stress, etc. This is the way we experience the presence of God. And who alone is qualified to experience the presence of God? The one who has a pure mind alone experiences the presence of God. So the example given is like the sunlight. Sunlight is there everywhere, on a piece of stone also, and on a piece of what you call a mirror also. But in the mirror you can see the sun. On that piece of stone you can't see the sun. What is that which is lacking on that piece of stone? It is not the sunlight. It is the same sunlight which is falling, but a mirror is able to reflect the sun. The stone is not able to. Why? Because the mirror has a polished surface. In the same way, a pure mind is like that polished mirror. In that heart, we are able to experience the presence of God. We are able to experience our true nature, which is Ananda Swarupa, infinite bliss, unconditioned bliss. This is the nature. So what happens when we live a life with Yajna Bhava? We are able to experience happiness. In fact, this itself is the purpose of life. Everyone is searching for what? We are all searching for happiness alone. You may call it peace, you may call it contentment, you may call it fulfillment, you may call it joy, whatever the name you give. Basically, we are all searching for happiness alone. And where is that happiness? It is right there in our heart. In fact, happiness is my nature. Bliss is my nature. It is the impure mind which is preventing me from experiencing this infinite bliss, which is my nature. It is the impure mind which is preventing me. What is my true nature? So the Upanishad says, Tattvamasi. Your true nature is infinity. Your true nature is immortality. Your true nature is bliss that you already are. You don't have to create it. It's already there. Aham Brahma Asmi. I am infinite. I am perfect. So perfection is my nature. So if perfection is my nature, who is preventing me from accessing that perfection? It is my own impure mind. So then what should we do? We don't have to create perfection. Perfection is already there. We only have to convert, transform that impure mind into a pure mind. That's all we need to do. A mind filled with noble virtues is called a pure mind. A mind filled with all negativities, anger, lust, greed, jealousy, such a mind is called an impure mind. So cultivate all noble virtues, and then that mind becomes a pure mind. In such a pure mind, we can experience our own inherent perfection. So what happens to a person who lives with this Yajna Bhava, serving everyone as a worship of the Lord, as Bhagavan Ramana Maharshi says, Jagata Ishadhi Yukta Sevanam Ashtamurti Bhrad Deva Pujanam. Jagata Sevanam is Deva Pujanam. Serving the world with the attitude that I am serving God. So serving the world with the attitude of serving the Lord, This purifies the mind. And once the mind is pure, we experience the bliss which is already our true nature. Now see the benefits. When we are living in Yajna Bhava, everyone is helping each other, cooperating with each other, loving each other, serving each other. So what happens? In the outer world, there is material prosperity, and in the inner world, there is peace and happiness. What else do you want? Isn't this called Rajya? Just imagine when each and every individual, we are living this way. Everyone is not trying to find fault with others. Everyone is trying to everyone is trying to find fault with oneself, trying to improve oneself. You see? Hari Om. Is audio clear?
Yeah, audio is clear, Swamiji, but I have to unmute sometime other people, so that's the problem.
Okay.
Sorry.
Fine. So just imagine what a beautiful world it would be if everyone is trying to improve upon oneself, not trying to improve others. The world will be a beautiful world. This is called as Rajya. I try to improve upon myself. I perform all actions selflessly. Now, what is the relationship between human beings and the cosmos? So Bhagavad Gita says, Annad bhavanti bhutani parjanyadanna sambhavaha yajñād bhavati parjanyaha yajñak karma samudbhavaha karma brahmodbhavam vidhi brahmakshara samudbhavam tasmat sarvagatam brahma nityam yajne pratishtitam. So there is a cycle, cosmic cycle mentioned there. Annad bhavanti bhutani. All beings are born out of food. Then where does this food come from? Parjanyadanna sambhavaha. Food comes from parjanya, rain. Where does the rain come from? Yajñād bhavati parjanyaha. Bhagavan says this rain comes from yajna karma. Now, this is something very interesting. See, rain is something where we have absolutely no control, isn't it? We have no control over rain. But in Bhagavad Gita, it is said, yes, there is a relationship between human behavior and cosmic behavior. Rain is something related to cosmic behavior. But here Bhagavan says there is a relationship. When people live in this selfless attitude, serving everyone, then that leads to rain. So that conducive environment, which is necessary for prosperity, for success, happiness, etc., that is called as rain here. So cosmos or the cosmic forces, they help us when we live in Yajna Bhava. Tasmat sarvagatam brahma nityam yajna pratishtitam. That Supreme Lord is ever established in Yajna Karma, it is said. If you want to win over the Lord, if you want to enter the kingdom of the Lord, what is the kingdom of the Lord? Satchidananda is the kingdom. The kingdom of happiness, kingdom of perfection, of bliss. If you want to enter, Yajna Karma is the means. That is what is said. So see how beautiful we can create material prosperity, and at the same time we can evolve spiritually. It is possible or not? Definitely it is possible. Is Rajya possible or not? Definitely it is possible. Right? It is not necessary that Rama alone has to come and then he has to rule only, then there is Rajya. No. If we can inculcate these values in the individual, then definitely Ramarajya is possible. But what happens if we live a selfish life? Then that is also mentioned in 3rd chapter. Tair dattan apradayebhyah yo bhungte stena eva saha. Bhagavan says, so much has been given by Mother Nature to you. A person who lives a selfish life, not thinking of what he can give, only thinking of what he can take, such a person is a thief, Bhagavan says. What is the punishment we normally give to thieves? He is imprisoned, isn't it? Right? He is beaten, he is imprisoned, he makes a hell. In the same way, a person who lives a selfish life, so Bhagavan uses various terms. Tena is one term, a thief. Bhagavan says, Bhunjate te twagham papaha ye pachanti atmakaranat. Those people who cook for themselves. Pachanti atmakaranat. Those people who cook for themselves. What are they cooking? Bhagavan says they are cooking sins only. What are they having? They are not having food, they are having sin only. They are eating sin only. Aghayurindriyaramaha mogham parthasa jivati. Such a person, his name, Bhagavan gives another name. See the words of abuse of Bhagavan. Aghayuhu, a person whose lifespan is filled with nothing but agha. Agha means sin. A sinful life. Another term given is Indriyaramaha, the one who finds aram in Indriya. Aram means rest. Aram means joy. The one who finds joy in the senses. There is another term given. Just imagine, he is not able to find joy in himself. Why he is not able to find joy in himself? Because his mind is an impure mind. So when he looks within, what does he find there? He doesn't find a pure mind. He finds an impure mind. An impure mind is not able to reflect the Lord who is seated there. So when a person looks within, he finds an impure mind there. He finds a miserable mind. Remember, impure mind is an indisciplined mind, untamed mind, disturbed mind. So when a person who is living a selfish life, when he looks within, what does he find? Let us say he sits for meditation. What will he find inside? He will find a disturbed mind. In the disturbed mind, can you find happiness there? Impossible. So inside there is no happiness. So then he searches for a happiness outside. What does he find there? He finds sensuous pleasures. And now he mistakes sense pleasure as the real happiness of life. Now, can you imagine the danger of it? Sense pleasure is not the real happiness. It is only a reflected happiness. The real happiness is in our heart. It is the nature of the self. Now he is not able to access that happiness. He misunderstands sense pleasure to be the real happiness of life. Now what does he do? He indulges in sense pleasures thinking that this is a real happiness. Now what happens when you indulge in sense pleasures? Health gone, wealth gone, everything gone. And in the process, you become an addict to your mind. You become an addict to the world. And remember one more thing, when sense pleasure becomes important, money also becomes equally important. Because if you want to indulge in sense pleasure, you need a lot of money. If you want to take drugs, you need a lot of money for that. So naturally in his life, money becomes a very important factor because sense pleasures can be gained only through money. And now through what you call hook and crook, he earns a lot of money. That again leads to, you know, there is a law. What is the law? As your thought, so will be the world formed around you, is a law. So if your thoughts are negative, what kind of world are you attracting towards yourself? A negative world. Negative thoughts will attract a negative world around us. So there will be a lot of disease, lot of pain, lot of suffering. So is it worth not being good? Very many times people ask this question, why do good people suffer? The fact is, good people never suffer. They are the ones who truly enjoy life. Who are these good people? Good people means what? Who entertain good thoughts, divine thoughts. So what happens when we entertain good thoughts and divine thoughts? Our mind is peaceful. So good people alone enjoy. Bad people, they never enjoy life. A good people will have a peaceful mind, full of contentment. A bad person will have a disturbed mind, because that is a law. As your thoughts, so will be the state of your mind. If the thoughts are negative, the mind will be disturbed. You cannot say, no, 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 my thoughts are negative, but I am a peaceful person. Impossible. You will have to use drugs and drinks to make that mind peaceful. It's a forced peace. It is not a natural peace. If you want to have a natural peace, then you will have to reform your thoughts. Thoughts have to be converted into good and divine thoughts. Then you will have a natural peace emerging in your heart. So really speaking, who is suffering in this world? Not the good people. It is always the bad people who suffer. Bhagavan says, Nahi kalyana krit kaschit durgatim tata gacchati. Oh dear one, a person who is kalyana krit, doer of the good, such a person will never suffer in life. It is a promise given by the Lord. So therefore, we are talking of Rama Rajya now. So just imagine when people come together with this divine attitude of selfless service, dissolving the individuality for the welfare of the totality. So there is prosperity outside, there is peace and happiness outside, there is harmony outside, and within there is peace and harmony. So within, inside also there is peace and harmony, outside also there is peace and harmony. So that's why Bhagavan says, Yada yada hi dharmasya glanir bhavati bharata abhyutthanam adharmasya tada atmanam srijamyaham. Whenever there is a glani in adharma, I mean, whenever there is an uprise of adharma, when adharma increase and dharma decrease, I take avatar. So after taking avatar, what does Bhagavan do? Paritranaya sadhunam, vinashaya cha dushkritam, dharma samsthapanarthaya sambhavami yuge yuge. So Bhagavan takes avatar in order to do dharma samsthapana. What is dharma samsthapana? To bring peace and harmony in the world. That is dharma samsthapana. But how does he do it? Paritranaya sadhunam. He protects the virtuous sadhus. Vinashaya cha dushkritam. Destroys the wicked people. This is what he does. So in the society, if you have to bring more and more peace and harmony, what you have to do? You have to increase the good-hearted people and you have to decrease the wicked ones, isn't it? Now, who are these good-hearted people? What is the definition of a sadhu? A sadhu is a person who is striving for self-knowledge. The root cause is self-knowledge. So what happens when we have this self-knowledge? The knowledge of the Upanishads, of Bhagavad Gita, etc. What happens? In this knowledge, we come to know that we are consciousness and we are not the body. This is the knowledge. I am consciousness. Body, mind, intellect is only my instrument. I am that infinite consciousness who is using this body, mind, intellect as an instrument. Now just imagine, suppose I have this knowledge that I am consciousness. What will I see in others? I will see others also as consciousness, isn't it? So there is a vision of oneness. At the body level, we are all different. At the thought level also, we may be different. Fine. But the essence in me is the essence in everyone. So we are all one. We are all nothing but consciousness. So self-knowledge leads to vision of oneness. Vision of oneness leads to love. Where does love come from? Love comes from the vision of oneness only. When we come to know that we are all one, naturally love comes, isn't it? And from that love comes all the virtues of life, values of life. The entire value system is based on the vision of oneness. And when every one of us, when we are practicing these noble virtues of life, what happens to the world? There is dharma samsthapana. There is peace and harmony. You see? So therefore, if Bhagwan has to do dharma samsthapana, what he should do? He should increase the number of sadhus who are practicing self-knowledge. Sadhu doesn't mean, wearing some ochre color cloth and all that. No, 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 no. That is not the meaning. Sadhu means those who are walking the path of shown by the scriptures, those who are striving for self-knowledge, those who are striving for liberation. See? So when we live in the spirit of Yajna Bhava, number one, there is material prosperity. Number two, there is spiritual evolution. And what is the end result of spiritual evolution? The end result is freedom from birth-death cycle. You become free from this body. Remember, body is a bondage. It's a prison. The infinite being suffocating in this limited physical body, that is called birth. What is our true nature? We are infinite being, infinite consciousness we are. Now we are packed tightly in this limited body. And now we are going through the miseries, the limitations, the imperfections of this body. That is called as bondage. So when we live in this Yajna Bhava, what happens? The world is also benefited. And we are also benefited. Atmano mokshartham jagat hitaya cha. As far as I am concerned, I get liberated. As far as the world is concerned, because of my selfless service, all are benefited. You see, what a beautiful thing. It's a win-win situation. The world is also at a higher advantage because such selfless people, they give much more than what they take. Isn't it? People who are karma yogis, who are selflessly serving the world, they alone, really speaking, they alone give. They give more than what they take. They produce more than what they consume. So just imagine when every individual is doing like this, giving more than what they are taking. So not only that individuals evolve and ultimately get liberated, the world also is blessed. So what should be done? Our education system has to change. This education has to be given. The education where we are trained to see the vision of oneness. We must be trained. We must be educated that if you are giving pain to others, remember that pain is going to come back to you because there is nobody other than you. When you are giving pain to somebody, that pain has to come back to you. If this education is given, just imagine what a big change it will be. Another education to be given is this God is not somewhere in some cloud, etc. He is right there in you as a very consciousness. Now, will anyone dare to do any mistake? Because that God is constantly watching as a very witness. So just imagine if this kind of education is given, the whole society will change. So naturally there has to be a Ramarajya. This is what in those days, in the Vedic times, they used to have Gurukulas. At a very young age, children were sent to Gurukulas and this knowledge was given to them before they entered into a married life, Grihastha. This knowledge was given. So with this knowledge, now just imagine what will happen to the society. So Amiji, in today's times, is it possible to have such an education? So the only thing we can say is, see, externally there may not be any Ramarajya, but at least in our own hearts, let us create Ramarajya. That freedom is given to us, isn't it? I may not be able to change the society, but I can at least change myself. No doubt this is a Kali Yuga, but in my heart, I can definitely create a Satyuga. For that, I don't have to get permission from the government or this or that. So why not start that way? At least why not start from oneself? This definitely we can do. And as we experience that joy, the bliss, etc., naturally whoever comes to us, they will also get a taste of it. They will also be inspired to walk the path of truth. This is all we need to do. In this modern condition, we may not be able to change the world, but definitely one thing is for sure, we can change ourselves. So I sincerely invoke the grace of the Lord, the blessings of all those Mahatmas who have given this great knowledge to us. May we all walk this path and create a Ramarajya inside ourselves and thus bless this world. Now we have, I think, 10 minutes. If you have any questions, you are most welcome.
You can unmute and ask your question if you have.
I want to ask for something.
Yes, Amma.
Yeah, Swami ji, what about आपने जो word कहा यत्न, आप थोड़ा सा हिंदी में बताएंगे कैसे लिखा हुआ? Am I pronouncing it correctly?
यज्ञ, यज्ञ, यज्ञ नहीं, यज्ञ.
य और ज्ञ लिखा हुआ.
ज्ञा नहीं है वो, ज्ञा है, ज्ञा. There is a
ज्ञ.
special letter.
Yes, हिंदी में.
हाँ.
ठीक है. हाँ. सकर. Okay.
Yes, yes.
Yeah. This is a Sanskrit word जो आपने बताया.
Yes, yes.
Thank you.
ये हमारा एक प्रश्न है.
हाँ माँ.
आपने जो भी बात बताई है वो थ्योरेटिकल तो ठीक लग रही है, लेकिन क्या प्रैक्टिकल लाइफ में हम क्या ऐसा कर सकते हैं? क्योंकि जो हम जीते हैं हम एक ही रोल नहीं कर रहे होते. मैं कभी माँ हूँ, कभी जॉब करती हूँ. हर एक चीज में आप जैसे कहते हैं ना कि आप बिल्कुल ऐसे करो जैसे कि आप भगवान को सर्व कर रहे हैं, तो दिन में तो 24 घंटे होते हैं, तो वो प्रैक्टिकली आई डोंट थिंक आई कैन डू इट. ये हमको वो पावर आज की डेट में हमने इतना टाइम रह के कंडीशनिंग हो गई है, तो इसको कैसे अचीव करेंगे?
अम्मा, suppose you have a toothache. Okay. So is it not true that 24/7 one part of the mind is busy with the toothache and other part of the mind is busy with all the other worldly activity? है कि नहीं?
Yes.
On one part of the mind is busy with the toothache, on the other part you are fulfilling all your responsibilities, है ना? In the same way, when you constantly do your sadhana, spiritual sadhana, one part of the mind is always remembering the Lord, the other part of the mind is fulfilling your worldly duties and responsibilities. Yes or no? So it is possible. I will not say for a beginner, but over a period of time, when that spiritual samskara become really deep rooted, then a time comes when one part of the mind is constantly remembering the Lord, the other part of the mind is doing your responsibilities. Even while driving also, you see, there are people who talk on mobile phones, you see, while driving. One part of the mind is, busy handling the clutch and the accelerator and brake, etc. The other part of the mind is busy thinking about the, answering the questions of the. So it is possible, mind has that ability. Only thing is we have to exercise that, that ability. We have to cultivate it and develop it. It's not impossible.
Thank you.
Swamiji, I have one question.
Yes, Amma.
It may not be related to Rajya or anything. My question is, suppose if I want, say I am striving, literally I'm striving for the self-knowledge. But when it comes to do meditation or dhyan, it is not my cup of tea.
Yes.
Okay. So even if today, if I start sincerely, what are the steps I should do? And roughly, approximately, how long it will take? 1 year, 2 year, or how long will it take?
Where are you staying, Amma?
I'm in
Mumbai.
Jaipur.
Jaipur.
Jaipur, yeah.
How long will it take for you to come from Jaipur to Bangalore?
3 hours.
No. It depends. If you are coming by walking, then
Okay, then it will take time.
it will take time, isn't it?
Yes, yes.
So the question is, what is a vehicle? So in the same way, how long will it take for me to realize God, to achieve liberation? It depends on with what intensity you are striving. There are so many factors. You got it? Some people just realize within few seconds because that intensity is so much. And there are others who take a whole lifetime or lifetimes rather.
Then what are the steps I should follow?
So, Amma, one thing, most important thing is developing devotion for God. Most important. If there is one message which is there, the essence of Bhagavad Gita, if you take, the essence is this: develop devotion for me. You know what happens? What is devotion? Devotion is nothing but love. Is it difficult to concentrate upon someone whom you love? Meditation is nothing but concentration, right?
Yeah.
When you love someone, is it difficult to concentrate? You have any grandchild, Amma?
No, no, no.
No, okay. These grandparents, it is so easy for them to meditate upon grandchild. Why? Because they love them so much. So wherever there is love, concentration is natural. Right? Yeah. Mind loves to think about that person whom it loves. So the first and the foremost thing is develop love for God. Now you may ask, how to develop love for God? Loving God becomes very easy when you come to know how much God loves you. God's love for us is infinite. It is unconditional. It is perfect love. God's love for us. So when we start experiencing His love for us, then we start loving Him. Now the question is, how will I know whether He is loving me or not? The expression of love is giving. When you love someone, you start giving more and more. So what we have to do is, we have to pay attention to how much God has given us. Then what will happen when you start listing, that is called as counting your blessings, as they say. So much God has given us. He gives and forgives. What do? We get and forget, isn't it, as they say? This is a mistake we do. So when we get and forget, who is the loser? We are the losers. Because when we are not showing gratitude to Him, what happens is we are missing a golden opportunity to love Him. So that is why we say, be grateful. Consciously bring this into mind, what all God has given you. So the first step in developing relationship with God is, test God. This is what I say. Test God. Test God means what? You have a lot of problems in life, challenges in life. Take your problem to God and see how God solves it. In fact, Bhagavad Gita, it is said, Name Bhakta Pranashyati. So many promises God has given. My devotee shall never perish. Machitta sarva durgani mat prasadat tarishyasi. By my mere grace, you shall overcome all problems. So these are all the promises given by God. So what we have to do, all our problems, we should take it to God. Then what will happen? Mysteriously, you will find these problems, you will find solution to these problems. You will find wonderful answers. It will happen. Then what will happen? You come to know that, oh, there is someone there to solve all my problems, who is always there with me, who is concerned about me. Every time you take your problem to God, every time you find a wonderful solution coming. So what will happen to the relationship with God? That relationship grows. The trust grows. Love grows. Devotion grows. Next time when the problem comes, you are not at all perturbed because you know that there is somebody all knowing, all powerful with me, who will save me, who will give whatever I need in that particular situation. So then slowly that love develops, and with such an intense love, when you sit for meditation, meditating upon God, will there be any difficulty? There won't be any difficulty. This is how we should grow in meditation. So the most important thing is developing love for God.
Thank you. Very nice.
Right.
Swamiji, I want to ask a question. I don't want to ask a question, but I just want to say that pranams and my
Hari Om,
your
Hari Om,
blessing,
Hari Om.
and
Yogesh, Hari Om.
just my head is on your feet. Please bless me.
Hari Om, Hari Om. I don't mind going another 5-10 minutes extra.
Swamiji, I also have a question to ask.
Yes, please.
So like you said that when we are happy or we are at peace, we attract cosmos or the Lord more.
Yes.
But then why in Mahabharata, Kunti ji asked Lord Krishna to give her more suffering and sorrow,
Yes.
thinking that this would keep the Lord Krishna more closer to her.
Yes. See, yes, there's a very famous verse in Bhagavatam. Vipadas shashvat tatra tatra jagadguru bhavato darshanam yatsya apunarbhava darshanam. This is the prayer of Kunti Mata. Kunti Mata says, Bhagavan, give me more and more sorrows. Why? Because Bhagavan, it is only during sorrows that I sincerely pray. Otherwise I tend to forget you. When everything is going fine, when everything is good, there is a natural tendency to forget God. This is a human tendency. It is a nature of the mind. But when troubles are there, problems are there, then we sincerely, wholeheartedly, we pray to God. So this particular human weakness is pointed out there. When there is a problem, your prayer is wholehearted, sincere, single pointed. You will always find this. When you're really in trouble, you see the prayer. It is not a mechanical prayer. It is a heartfelt prayer. Your whole being is involved in that prayer, isn't it? So that is why Kunti Mata is asking this.
So basically, it's a way to train yourself.
Yes, yes, yes. Bhagavan, I want your presence. And I find that this mind is not sincerely praying. So therefore, if troubles can make me pray sincerely, Bhagavan, I invite trouble. I don't have problem in going through troubles and pains and sufferings. This is the meaning. That shows the quality of Kunti Mata, Normally, what is our prayer? Bhagavan, take all sufferings away from us. Here Kunti Mata is saying, Bhagavan, if sufferings can increase my devotion, I don't mind going through suffering. See the quality of a devotee. That's the greatness of Kunti Mata.
Great. Thank you, Swamiji.
स्वामी जी प्रणाम, पंकज बोल रहा हूँ.
Yes.
स्वामी जी, अभी एक सवाल है और ये मैं अपने घर में भी देखता हूँ. माँ बाप बच्चों में सब में प्यार होता है, लेकिन और आपने कहा है कि अपने आप को सुधारिए, चिंतन करें, मेडिटेशन करें, अच्छा बनाएं. बट आजकल के बच्चे जो है वो व्हाट्सएप और मूवीज और म्यूजिक की और बाहर की दुनिया में ज्यादा रहते हैं, माँ बाप की बातें कम सुनते हैं. वो कौन से एक या दो टॉप के सूत्र हैं या क्या चीजें हैं जो माँ बाप को करनी चाहिए ताकि बच्चे शुद्ध और अच्छे बने, क्योंकि उन्हीं के थ्रू हम आगे ये चला सकते हैं. तो बच्चों को कैसे किया जाए, ये परेशानी एक बहुत बड़ी है हमारे लिए आज.
See, it is like this. There is a beautiful verse in Bhagavad Gita which says, Yadyad acharati shreshtaha tattat eva itarah janah sayat pramanam kurute lokah tat anuvartate. श्रेष्ठ पुरुष जो आचरण करते हैं, others just blindly imitate it. This is the instruction. This is law given. So who are the Shrestha Purusha in the eyes of children? Parents, isn't it? So therefore, if you want to change your children, first step is let me change. Many times I find parents themselves are addicted to all these kind of things, you know, television and mobile, etc. And they want their children to come out of it. Impossible. You have to set such a role model in yourself that children get inspiration by seeing you. This is the only way. Children cannot be changed by preaching and teaching. No, you have to demonstrate. Sayat pramanam kurute lokaha tat anuvartate. A leader has to demonstrate it and then show the righteous way of living, the benefits of righteous living. If you show such a, what you call, ideal way of living, then naturally children will follow it. You see, it's always found, you know, a person who is an embodiment of peace, who is an embodiment of strength, who is an embodiment of goodness, he automatically attracts, you know, people to him. You understand? No, I am not able to see your face, whether you are understanding or not understanding or confused, or what is it? So please switch on your video.
स्वामी जी इधर यार मैं कैसे दिखाऊं?
हाँ जी.
How do I show myself? What way? How do I spotlight?
Please switch on the video.
कर दिया मैंने. Oh, I've switched on the video. Please, स्वामी जी.
हाँ जी. ठीक है.
जी प्रणाम.
So therefore, my first step should be in improving myself. This is the instruction given by Bhagavad Gita. If the father himself is smoking, the child also will, you know, he will roll some piece of paper and you know, set fire on the other end and start doing something. Foo he will do. Because father is a role model, isn't it? I have always seen in the house where people use only good words, you know, especially the parents, etc. They never use any abusive language, etc. The children dare not use abusive language, even though they have learned it from the school. They dare not, because that culture in the home is such.
Gee.
So everything to start from oneself. When we are walking the path of righteousness and goodness, and all goodness is there in us, children automatically follow the footsteps. So if we have to reform children, we have to start from ourselves.
ठीक है स्वामी जी, समझ में आ गई बात.
Right.
हेलो.
Yes.
स्वामी जी, मेरी आवाज आ रही है?
हाँ जी, हाँ जी.
स्वामी जी प्रणाम पहले तो.
हाँ.
और मैं गौतम बात कर रहा हूँ.
हाँ.
अभी आपने जो कुंती माता के लिए जो बताया ना, तो उसमें मेरे को ये समझ में आया कि कुंती माता ने अपने लिए दुख मांगा, ठीक है, लेकिन वो दुख से उनको भगवान की याद हमेशा आती थी. तो मेरे को यहाँ पे ऐसा समझ में आता है कि वो दुख की वजह से उनको जो सबसे ज्यादा पसंद है वो काम करने को मिलता था. मतलब हमारे लिए वो बाहर से देखने के लिए वो दुख थे कि वो दुख में है, लेकिन वो दुख की वजह से पूरा दिन भगवान का नाम लेते थे या उनके साथ रहते थे, तो वो उनकी खुशी थी. तो मैं यहाँ पे ये समझ रहा हूँ कि कुंती माता शायद पूरा दिन वो करते थे जो उनको बहुत अच्छा काम लगता था, तो शायद उसकी वजह से वो हमें दुख लगता है, लेकिन वो शायद खुशी थे. शायद मैं सही समझाऊं कि गलत?
देखिए
मतलब वो आनंद में रहते. हाँ जी.
मैं इंग्लिश में बोलूं? इंग्लिश में
हाँ
बोलूं?
ठीक है. हाँ ठीक है.
देखिए, the sorrow may be a sorrow giving situation, but if the mind is in God, you can never be sorrowful. See, nobody can desire sorrow. Please keep this in mind.
Exactly.
Our nature is happiness, so we cannot but desire happiness. We cannot desire sorrow. What Kunti Mata is saying is not that give me sorrow. No. Give me sorrowful situations. See, when your mind is in God, can that mind be sorrowful? जब मन भगवान में होता है तो उसमें दुख होता है कि आनंद होता है? आनंद ही होना चाहिए। क्यों? भगवान आनंद स्वरूप हैं। तो यदि आप भगवान का ध्यान करोगे, भगवान तो आनंद स्वरूप हैं, तो देयरफॉर जब आप भगवान का ध्यान करोगे तो आपको क्या अनुभव में आएगा? आनंद, है ना? क्योंकि भगवान आनंद स्वरूप हैं, इसलिए आपको आनंद ही आना है। देखिए देखिए, कुंती माता ने क्या कहा? बाहरी सिचुएशन दुख रूप होगा तभी मेरा मन आपके चरण कमलों का ध्यान करेगा। तो उस ध्यान से क्या मिलेगा? आपको आनंद ही मिलेगा। The point is this: your mind, if it is in God, you will experience bliss, you will experience peace, even when the outer world, even if you are in hell. आप यदि नरक में भी हो, लेकिन यदि आपका मन भगवान में हो तो आपको आनंद ही अनुभव होगा। परिस्थिति डिसाइड नहीं करती, मनस्थिति। यदि मन भगवान में है तो यदि आपको नरक में भी डाल दिया जाए तो भी आपको आनंद का अनुभव ही होगा। लेकिन यदि मन डिस्टर्ब्ड हो, तो यदि आप स्वर्ग में भी हो तो माइंड क्या अनुभव होगा? आपको दुखी अनुभव होगा। तो कुंती माता's prayer is, Bhagwan, make sure that my mind thinks only about you, so that I will have only happiness, peace, joy. That is the point.
Thank you.
ठीक है, right.
Namaskar, Swamiji. I have a question to ask.
हाँ माँ.
It's Neeta. I'm here, Neeta. Yeah. Right now, like it's been said, like law of attraction, positive thoughts, whatever we want, we have to give to universe, and then the more intense it is, we get the thing, right? So in this, I have to. That's like I just want to know कि there is two things. Like एक तो प्रारब्ध है हमारा. अगर हमारा प्रारब्ध है, तो क्या यूनिवर्स को हम इंटेंसिटी से वो दे, अगर हम इफ आई एम गिविंग दैट थॉट टू इट, और मेरे प्रारब्ध में नहीं है, तभी भी हमको मिलेगा वो व्हाट एवर थॉट्स आई एम हैविंग। सेकेंड चीज कि इस मतलब गीता में लिखा है ये लॉ ऑफ यूनिवर्स, पॉजिटिव थॉट्स, यूनिवर्स, डज इट लाइक इट हैपेंस, बट प्रारब्ध में नहीं होने के बाद भी अगर मेरी इंटेंसिटी बहुत स्ट्रांग है, तो क्या गीता में लिखा है कि दिस इज ट्रू एंड दिस इज यू विल गेट इट? क्योंकि आजकल लाइक लास्ट डिकेड से बहुत लॉ ऑफ अट्रैक्शन, पॉजिटिव थॉट्स, यूनिवर्स बहुत जा रहा है, बट सिंस आई बिलीव इन गीता एंड माय वेदास एंड तो आई वांट टू नो फ्रॉम इट कि इज इट पॉसिबल कि गीता में लिखा है ये, पुराने में भी? थैंक यू सो मच।
हाँ अम्मा वीडियो ऑन कीजिए, वीडियो।
ओके, या
हाँ अम्मा देखिए, ऐसा है,
नमस्कार।
you know the story of Markandeya?
I am not remembering right now.
That boy was supposed to die at the age of 16.
Yeah.
And then when he saw his parents crying, because next day he was supposed to die, so he went and then he makes a Shivalinga, and then then Yamaraj comes, and then he holds on tight to Shivalinga, and then Bhagwan himself appears and chases away Yamaraj. What does that story show? What does that story show? So according to Prarabdha, he is supposed to die at the age of 16. But by Bhagwan's grace can do anything. Kartum akartum anyatha kartum shaktaha Ishwaraha. Bhagwan is somebody who can do, who can undo, who can differently do. He can do anything because it is his creation.
True.
So by the grace of Bhagwan, there is nothing which is impossible. Nothing.
And is it mentioned in Gita also, this verse?
There is no verse, but Bhagwan says, Machitta sarva durgani mat prasada tarishasi. By my grace, you will overcome all problems. Now, this itself is a very clear indication. Even if it is a tivra prarabdha, very strong prarabdha, by grace of God, anything is possible. Sarva durgani, Bhagwan says. Durga means something which is impossible. Even impossible can happen by my grace. Only thing is, you pray to me, come to me. That's what Bhagavan says.
Thank you. Pranam.
Right.
थैंक यू स्वामी जी, बहुत ही अच्छा सेशन है और आप आए ये भी हमारे लिए बहुत अच्छी बात है और आगे आप आपसे उपनिषद पढ़ेंगे ये भी अच्छी बात है। और तृप्ति मैम आप।
Thank you so much, Swamiji. It was truly wonderful. And I hope that we can continue meeting and learning from you. And like you have said, have faith in God and He will guide us through the most difficult times in life. Because you said a beautiful thing that if you keep your mind towards God, then anything is possible for you. There is only Anand because God is Anand Swarupa. Yes. I think that's a beautiful takeaway for all of us today. And thank you so much. We are truly in debt to you. And we see you again soon next year.
Okay.
Thank you, Swamiji.
Hari Om.
Hari Om.
Thank you,
Hari Om,
Swamiji.
Swamiji. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Swamiji.
Hari Om,
Thank you, Swamiji.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, Trupti, ma'am.